Okay, guys, SmackDown last night, February 16th. I think it was a pretty good one. I enjoyed the show pretty much start to finish. I will say recently, I've been liking SmackDown a little better than Raw. That ebbs and flows all the time between the two. I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but for right now, SmackDown's doing really well. And jump right into it. First match was Kevin Owens versus Dominic Mysterio. You're never, I don't think you ever get a bad match with Kevin Owens. The WWE's got a few guys on their roster now, which is impressive, that can have, as they say, a good match with a broomstick. And Dominic Mysterio is no broomstick. His in-ring work's getting better and better and better, and he's played this heel perfectly. I told you guys I was not a believer in his at all when he first came around. It's like, nah, there's nothing interesting to me about this kid. But doing this heel turn in this storyline, he's played it to perfection. I've gotten to where I really enjoy when he's out there. And you've got the crowd so gung-ho, so vehement that he will not speak without being drowned out by boos. When you've got the crowd that into anything you're doing, into any angle, you're over. I mean, that's like the old days of Stone Cold and the what? What? I mean, Dominic's really hooked him in. As far as the match, just what you'd expect. Amazing by Kevin Owens again, I think. Dominic, again, holds up his end extremely well and just keeps getting better and better. I give this one, for me, this was a solid A-. A really good A- match. Nothing super spectacular, but really, really well done match. And I say anything, just so you guys know, A+ is for something really, really exceptional. But a good start to the show. Okay, guys, then we had Tiffany Stratton versus Zelina Vega. Big Zelina Vega fan I am. Always liked her. Always had a lot of respect for her, because anybody that can be that small and put their body through this kind of beating and just keep going is tough as far as I'm concerned. Plus, I found out that she is an avid anime fan, as am I, so she is a sister otaku, and I have to have respect for that. That said, I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit about this match. I hate the Alabama Slam. The Alabama Slam is the move that Tiffany hit Zelina with, and that's where, basically, if I'm giving it, you have your opponent, you have the crooks of their legs here, their head is down behind you, and you slam them forward. The reason I don't like it, it can go wrong so easily, and it looked to me like, and I don't want to say, I don't know what the fallout was from the match. I don't want to say for sure. It looked like we had this happen, because when you take a move, say it's a choke slam, power bomb, body slam, you're in a position to flatten your opponent. In other words, lay them flat on the mat, let them take a good fall where they spread their body out and absorb the impact. With that Alabama Slam, because you're coming over the top like that, the tendency is to treat somebody like a whip. And the best way to concuss yourself is whiplash, is to snap your head. And that looked like what happened last night, and it's really easy to do in that Alabama Slam. Now, if I was going to deliver that move, just from my perspective, because, again, safety is the number one thing, and I always took very seriously taking care of the person that was in there with me, I would at least take them and get them some height on it. I wouldn't snap them over on it. I'd get them some height, because if you get them up a little bit, you're going to allow them to flatten out and, again, land the way that they want to land. It's just physics, folks, and especially with somebody like Zelina. When you have somebody really light, it's going to be easier to give them that snap effect without even realizing it, because you come forward, there's not much weight there. You're going to snap her good. You're going to get her to where she doesn't land flat, the back hits, the head snaps. I just don't like it. Don't like it at all. Even with, like, as I said, a choke slam. If I want to choke slam somebody, and let's just say this person had pissed me off prior, and so I wanted to choke slam them with a little extra gusto, I know I can do it perfectly safely, because I'm in control of landing them flat. Now, I might spike them hard, but I'm not going to injure them. I'm just going to make them a little sore, because I'm going to land them flat just really hard. With the Alabama Slam, you go really hard, you're going to snap their head, somebody's going to get hurt. I hope Zelina wasn't hurt. The that moonsault she does at the end looked like she might have caught her a little bit with the knees on that too. It just looks like a rough night for Zelina. And again, I'm a big fan. So given that, I hate to do it. Given that, the match had some good high spots, but because it looked to me like there was a lot of chance that somebody got hurt in it, I'm giving it a C. Then we had this Authors of Pain versus two dudes. Not to be disrespectful, I've got their names here. I didn't know who they were. I'm sorry. Javier Bernal and Bo Morris. This was obviously just a squash match for the Authors of Pain. You know, they're monsters. You're trying to put them over as monsters. They got the look. Those are some big, impressive looking boys right there. The match itself was what you'd expect. It was a squash match with two bruisers beating the crap out of a couple guys. That's certainly not anything new. Putting together the two big monster dudes as a tag team. And I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm just saying it's not anything that we haven't seen. They didn't do anything in that match that made me think, oh, here's the next coming of the Road Warriors or something. They look good. They look strong. They look the part. And put it this way, I'll be anxious to see more of them, or I'll be interested to see more of them. You know, if you tell me Authors of Pain is coming up, I'm going to watch. I want to see what they can do. But I think that actually this has been done so often, just the monster tag team. I think that almost kind of works against them because it's tough to be above and beyond doing something that's been done so often. But the guys look good. They look their parts. The match was a squash match. How high a grade are you going to give a squash match? I'll give it, I think the most I would give a squash match is a B. And we'll give them a B. And Logan Paul versus The Miz. Damn it. This freaking Logan Paul. You guys know, I've told you over and over, I don't care for Logan Paul. I never liked the guy. But I'll be damned if he isn't a really, really good professional wrestler. I have to give the kid credit. I keep looking for things to hate on him for because I just, being a YouTuber myself for all these years, you know, and knowing his history, I just always saw him as kind of a punk. Not only is he solid in the ring, he's doing really good on the mic. He's doing a good job, and this really impressed me. I've seen so far he's doing a good job of taking care of people and putting people over. I can't find anything to complain about with him. And The Miz is underrated. The Miz is a good worker. Another guy who just, even in the current iteration of The Miz, which, come on, we all know his one-loss record, it's not impressive lately. But doing what he's sent out there to do, he does it really well. They put on a good match. I look forward to seeing The Miz just because I know it's going to be good wrestling. We all knew going into that match, there was no way Miz was going over. You know Logan Paul's going to the Elimination Chamber. There was no doubt about it. But they put together not just a good match, an exceptional match. I like the psychology of it. I like the physicality of it. Every part of that match was really, really good. I'm going to give that match a solid A. Okay, we had Naomi versus Alba Fry. I don't have a lot to offer about that. I thought that match was okay. You know, it didn't do anything that got me excited. They seem to be. I don't know a lot about them. Well, Naomi, of course, we do, but it was good. It was an entertaining match, but it didn't do anything that stood out for me. I give that one I'll give it a B. And then we ended the show with the Bloodline and The Rock both on the mic. Now, I might have I know a lot of people really, really enjoyed, and I did too, but I'll tell you all the details, enjoyed The Rock on the mic again, said it was him getting back to the way The Rock used to be, you know, really hammering it home as a heel, and he did. But here's my take. If you were to take that in a vacuum as The Rock, this is, basically the Bloodline and Roman just set up The Rock to come out, so I'm not even going to address that part of the promo. But if you're going to take that in a vacuum as just a standalone promo that The Rock did, excellent. Excellent. Really well done, of course, smoothly spoken, went after the crowd, hit them good, you know, all the typical heel stuff, and Even though it was typical heel stuff, it was done well. However, if you're going to compare it to the legacy of promos that The Rock has done, I don't think it was one of his very best. And again, that's just my opinion. I mean, a lot of the shots he took were kind of obvious. They were still entertaining, but talking about them setting a record for the most trailer park trash, that was cool. But I knew that's what he was leading up to when he did it. I did like the whole thing where he was going off of mocking the fans for, oh, Cody gotta finish the story. That was the best part of the promo for me. That's getting quality heat and bringing a sense of reality into it all. So I thought it was a really good promo. By most standards, that's an A promo. I'm going to give it an A minus just because I don't think it was one of The Rock's greatest promos. I've heard him come up with more original stuff in a promo of that length, other than things where I kind of knew what he was going to say next. But again, I think that's a compliment. The way I look at it anyway is, you're just expecting so much from him that he's got a lot to live up to on the promo. If it was a standalone promo, again, I'm going to give it an A. And as a Rock promo, I'll give it an A minus. I think that's fair. Let me know what you guys thought about the card and about these grades in specific. And we'll do this on the regular if you guys like having these conversations and grading the shows.